Hello everyone and welcome to Best of the Month, where a range of creators get together to talk about what they've enjoyed. It doesn't have to be a new game, it doesn't have to be the latest hotness from Kickstarter, it might be. So let's find out what the other creators have been enjoying this month.
Hi, it's Barb MeeplePhD, and my favorite play for August 2022 is Marco Polo 2 in the Service of Khan. I'm less familiar with the original game in this series, so everything I'm saying is about the second version, but I think they are very similar in some ways at least. So in this game, you are playing a trader who is traveling the Silk Road, trying to set up trading posts, collecting resources, and fulfilling contracts. It is a dice worker placement game, so that at the beginning of each round you're rolling 5 dice and then planning on where to put them on different spots around the board. Now, often you want higher values for some of the actions you want to do. It gives you a little more freedom with where you place things, and it can also up the number of times you can take a specific action. Some of the spots, allow you to take the same action up to the number of times that you have pips on the dice that you play there. That means that, the lower rolls can be a bit of a detriment, but there are ways to mitigate that. I usually find that even with the lower rolls, there are places I can play those. Maybe I only need to take an action once, so having a 1 or a 2 to place there doesn't hurt me very much. Now, throughout the game, you're going to be using those dice primarily to collect resources or to move your pawn around this map in order to set up new trading posts in different cities. But the more cities that you visit, the more income you might get at the beginning of the round, or you might have additional actions that you can take at those spots. And if you're the first one at a trading post, you also get a special bonus. The other thing about this game is that each player has a different leader that they are playing, which gives them a special power. Each of those feels overpowered, and I find during the game that I'm looking at my neighbor thinking, I wish I had that power. At the same time, they're looking at me and thinking the same thing. What I like about this game is it's another one of those games that feels really tight. Like, you don't have enough actions for what you want to do throughout the game. And I don't know why I like that, but I really like just trying to maximize what I can do in a game like that, where I'm almost a little frustrated that the game is too short or doesn't have enough actions, but I still feel like I've built up, some kind of something by the end of it. And so just finding those different strategies that work with your leader and with your dice rolls just is so satisfying to me. If this sounds at all interesting, you might want to look it up at a game cafe or see if a friend has it. And you can take a look for me on the internet as @MeeplePhD on Instagram and Twitter. I have a blog at meeplephd.com, and I have my own YouTube channel where I connect astronomy and board games, which is also Meeple PhD. We'll see you next month.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our picks for Best of the Month for the month of August. And my pick is going to be this game right here called Potion Market. And what you do in this game is you're brewing potions, basically like fulfilling orders with ingredients, but you have this cauldron board right here with where all your ingredients go, and you're using like a Mancala type mechanism where you take them all out of one section and then you rotate them, you drop them off one at a time around there, and that dictates your actions for your turn. So the trick is you want to get them in the right spots.
You need to get the ingredients from there and then chain it so that you can buy the potions.
Right. So yeah. So then there's these potions right here that have different ingredients and points and stuff on that. And when you earn those, you get victory points, and then you can sell them to the market, which is constantly fluctuating. If you can see that, if in this case, one is going to be better than the other one, the color. So you can try to manipulate that too. And then the other thing is, if you look at this picture here, you can summon familiars. And they're the most adorable, googly-eyed familiars you've ever seen.
And pretty powerful.
Pretty powerful, yeah, because sometimes they have one-time or special abilities.
They have special abilities,
but
yes.
mostly they have like end-game scoring abilities. So if you get the right ones,
a few of them have that.
If you get the right ones, you can end up, really boosting up your score. But this is a game that I'm not really that great at.
I'm pretty good at it. I just always fall a few points from winning.
I'm always like of many points from winning, but I still have a really fun time playing it. So that's why this is my pick of the month.
Yeah. Okay. My pick is Micro Macro Crime City. And what you're doing is you have to complete missions by following like little tiny guys on this gigantic map, and seeing what's happening to answer the questions. And in those one of those missions, which is like part of a promo, is this baby mission where the baby gets out of the stroller and does a ton of weird stuff.
All over the city.
Literally all over the city. You have to follow him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So here's, this is spoilers, but here's what the baby does. He drinks wine and in the beer garden. He has coffee at the market.
Yeah.
He steals the cheese.
Yeah.
He gives that cheese to a dog, and then the dog starts following him. And then he took the subway, which was hard because then you had to find out where the heck that subway actually exited.
Yeah.
He got a balloon. He then gave away the balloon. And then it's so dumb. He gives a sausage and then just feeds it to a homeless person and celebrated at the carnival.
Yeah, it's really silly. It's obviously we're kind of spoiling that, but it is a promo one. I think you can print it off from the website or something. But
it's so funny though.
But it was fun, yeah, because you're chasing this baby all around this on the city.
You have to go it's so hard because he's like all over.
Yeah, we had a good time with that one this month. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I guess those are our picks, right? So I'm looking forward to what everybody else picks this month, and thanks again for having us, and yeah, I guess we'll see you next month.
Bye. You know, solving googly-eyed familiars isn't really that hard. Here, watch.
It worked!
Hi everyone, Dan here from Chairman of the Board, and my game of the month for August 2022 goes to Acropolis. So despite Acropolis being an ultra simple tile placement game, there's so much here that has just completely just blown my mind really about how much fun this game is. So in this game, it has a puzzly nature as you're trying to place certain tiles in different kind of conditions. For example, you want all the blue tiles to be connecting with each other, you want all the kind of red tiles to be on the border of the map, you want all the purple temples to be surrounded by other tiles, and that kind of thing. However, not only are you building in terms of expanding your city, you're also vertically stacking tiles to increase scoring multipliers at the end of the game, and also to give you stone to give you more flexibility to claim the tiles that you want when it comes to drafting. This game couldn't be more simple, streamlined to the core, but it is so much fun, and just the essence of the game just shines through beautifully. So yeah, consistently been hitting the table this month, and I couldn't recommend it enough if you want to start inviting people into a hobby space. This is going to be a great tool to do that. So that is Acropolis. Very, very impressed by that one. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dan, also known as Chairman of the Board, of course. I have my own YouTube channel where I cover a bunch of different games, ranging from very simple filler games, party games, up to your heaviest of Euros. So I'd more than welcome you to come and join me on my channel. But for everyone else, I'll see you next time on Game of the Month. Bye-bye.
Hi there, I'm Julian and this is Libby, and we are from Box Meeples. You can see us right here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and Twitter. So what games did we like best in August?
I had a play of Foundations of Rome. We had some people come round and one of our friends kickstarted it. So he had the massive box with all the buildings in it, lovely game trays that keep every little players in their slots, and it was just, I wasn't sure that it was going to be a game for me, so it's one that I didn't kickstart, even though it looks amazing, the buildings look amazing. I thought, oh, I'm not sure if the gameplay is going to be quite what the type of things that I normally like, but I actually really enjoyed the game, and maybe the surprise of how much I liked it, maybe that's why it's sort of become the game of the month. It's so fun trying to sort of get your little buildings out there, and it visually looks amazing, and whether you can get some of the special buildings that do all these different bits and pieces and trying to place next to the right types of buildings so you're getting the right points or the right money that you need as you go along. It's a fun little puzzle. It has a little bit of a higher player count. Some games of a similar nature tend to stop at 4, so it was good that that one went to 5, and just the buildings are amazing.
Yeah, it was really nice to kind of look over the board and see how Rome had kind of developed. It felt very much like, oh, there are the side streets that's leading to the fountains and the Colosseums. It wasn't the game I was expecting it to be at all. It was much more of a puzzle than I thought it would be more confrontational. You'd be fighting to control Rome, but it's very much working out what's the best use of your cards, what's the best use of available resources on the board, and where are you going to put your buildings to kind of maximise your return on points. So
yeah, when you need to cash in to get more money, that was key.
It was a lot of fun, and not what I expected. And wow, that's one lavish production, and
It really is. Yeah,
just clears some space on the shelves if we ever wanted to get our own copy of that. It's huge. My game of the month is Lords of Vegas. Now, this has been a game that's been on my radar for a while, mainly because we are going to Vegas soon, and I'd searched for different Vegas-based games, and I'd heard about this one. And it's kind of got a bit of a cult following. There's some people who seem to really adore this game. And it's been out of print for a while. I mean, to get our own copy of this, we'd be spending over £100 likely on eBay. We actually got a copy of this from a rental service, which we have here in the UK, so we're really lucky to get our hands on it. The game itself is an interesting blend of kind of gambling, pushing your luck, almost kind of area control. So you're basically competing to build casinos on the Strip in Las Vegas, and to do this you're drawing cards to then get basically ownership of certain land plots, and then eventually having enough money to then put casinos on there, and hoping that on future card draws the card type that's drawn is casinos that you control, because it's not good enough having just a big casino there if you're the boss. You want to be taking the money from that casino and also being in charge, because being in charge gets you the victory points and having a bigger casino gets you the money. And we had a lot of kind of toing and throwing, competing between who owns the biggest casino on there. No, that's big victory points.
I had a lot of money, so every time Julian got himself to be back to be the boss again, I just spent out again to re-roll and become the boss. And it's all, I really like how you're trying to work out which ones are going to pay out when, depending on which cards have been drawn. But you have the option to just remodel and change it up. So if you're sort of going for something early doors and then you're realising, I don't think it's going to actually pay out much more towards the end, you can just remodel it.
Yeah, it's really good how you lay the cards out, and there's a finite amount of each suit essentially in the game, but there's a quarter of the deck that may never be drawn. So the theme of gambling really runs through this game, because you're working out the odds of something coming up that you are taking control of, or whether you're just going to wipe out that go. There's a chance of that one last card coming. It's time to change this casino completely. I felt there's so many different things to think about as we were playing this. And there's always a chance of, I've got no money, let's just gamble and hope that I'm going to steal yours. Really, really fun game. I've given up hopes of ever getting our own copy of this because obviously very, very expensive to get. But so pleased that we have played it.
Yeah, and I think it could definitely get sort of quite raucous and fun, and you've taken my casino, with especially with a higher player count. It's a lot of fun.
So we were only playing at 2, so it was competitive between us, but I can just think of so many Lords of Vegas.
It would get a lot more even more fun, I think. Yeah. No, it had a great time playing that. I was pleasantly surprised by that one as well.
Now, this month I did have to think long and hard about this one. There were a few games that were vying for my best of the month, but Canvas has taken it just because of this stunning, stunning artwork. I think it is truly a gorgeous game, and one that sort of makes my imagination run and enjoy looking at it, let alone even playing it. On your turn, you might have the choice between drawing a card from the market or to actually create a painting, but actually there is a lot of choice there. First of all, how much is that one down the market worth to you? And having choice in this game of what to take, even if it's just between the first 2, that is huge. It's almost a sort of game where you don't want to take it that seriously. I've played a number of times and I win very, very infrequently, and that's mostly because I'm making cool pictures, and that to me is a lot of fun. I'm distracted by the artwork in a good way. It means that even if I lose, as I normally do, I've had a good time because I've made my 3 pictures. And it's all thanks to these art cards, which are just wonderful. They create incredible images and they cause people to look at the game and want to play. Anyway, that's my best of the month canvas. I would highly recommend it to introduce new people to, and I will have a review of it coming out on the Dice Tower. So stay over there to watch that one. But anyway, more about this video, on to the next creator.
Hey boardies, welcome to Amass Games. My name is Simon. Today I'm giving you the best of the month for the month of August 2022. It's been a very, very busy month. I have been gaming a lot, lots of holiday time, 217 plays, and it's already only the 28th of August. 104 different games, 60 players, so 28 days out of 28 so far. Daily gaming for many years now, daily videos for many years as well. 28 of those games are my copy, 65 are new to me, 187 hours. Now, I've got a board game here, a board game version of the board game. I've also played other board game versions of a board game, such as Lost Cities. I've played Zergsnimt and 11 Nimt. There are many other versions too, but right now I'm talking to you about my game of the month for this month, August, which is Bredfeldt. Zergsnimt Bredfeldt. It's Zergsnimt with a board. There are 4 different modes, and it's been my favourite game so far this month. Why? It has tiles, it's nice to play, you can play outside better than I have been playing outside in fact, over just using cards. You can use cards in the game as well. It's a double-sided board, it's got a nice table presence. Other people who are new to this game have also enjoyed the box art as well. It looks very appealing and appreciative of that. It mixes up the games too, it's a lot quicker to play. It's a fewer player count, but it does play in half the time. It's quick to explain, it can be played in 1 round if you're playing at 3 to 6. My board game of the month for August 2022, once again, by Amigo, Zergsnimt, by Wolfgang Kramer, my favourite designers as well. Hope you found it of interest. Speak to you soon. Back to the table.
Hello and welcome. I'm Adam from Board at Home, and it's a pleasure to join you once again on Don't Be Bored's Best of the Month. As you can see here, my best of the month for August is Swatch, an abstract game of art. In this game, you are all employees of Mix Inc, and it is up to you to create the latest colour scheme. You're going to be doing this by collecting your base colours, mixing them into the 3 primary colours, and then collecting your swatches to create your colour scheme. It's got a mix of card drafting, resource management, and strategy. Absolutely fun to play. I'm just going to give you a look at some of the cards and the components in this video. So the game is comprised of a few different areas. So we have got our colour schemes, which are these ones here. These are randomly determined at the start of the game, and you're going to be given one, and it's up to you to collect a swatch from each of the 3 colour schemes that you are given here. Your swatches will be laid out on the boards in front of you, and they'll be in decks numbered 1 to 6. Each of these will have its own resource cost, which is what you're going to need to get to by mixing the top colours into the bottom colours to get the right amount of resources. The first 1 to 3 to complete their colour scheme wins, but there are a few tiebreakers as well. And then finally, you're going to have your main deck, and this main deck is going to be full of different cards. We have got our add colour cards, so we've got cyan, yellow and magenta, which are our colours that we're going to be using to mix into the others. We have trade cards, which allows us to trade our those 3 colours into one of the other colours, either from the supply or from the other players. And you've got mix, which is going to allow you to mix combinations of those 3 colours into red, green and blue, which then allows you to buy your swatches here. So what I really enjoy about this game is just the amount of choice, the amount of possibilities in it. Because it's a card drafting game, it means that it's going to be changing from round to round, but you've also got the resource management to think about as well. So if you've played games like Splendor or Century Spice Road, for example, then you're going to get a flavour of what this game is all about. The strategy part of it comes in really with the placement of your palette here. This is your little player marker, so you're going to have rows of cards in front of you like so. And on your turn, one of your actions is to pick one of those cards, and then you can perform one of a variety of actions, being playing the card immediately, adding it to your hand to save for a later turn, or discarding it for no effect, but you do get to get rid of a colour cube. Depending where you pick will depend your starting place in the next turn. So the further left you are, then you're going to go first in the turn, for example. But obviously you're going to want to balance that with what cards do I need. Maybe I'm going to set up for the long term, I'm going to take this magenta rather than this magenta, because there's a card on the next row that I really want, and this will secure my position in order to get that card. So there's a lot of choice to be made in the game. There's also a solo mode as well. So I haven't played this one yet, but the solo mode comes with a whole bunch of extra cards and a couple of trackers as well. What's really good with the trackers is that because the game is very colourblind friendly, everything in the game, I mean, all of these cards are going to tell you exactly what they do on them. The schemes will tell you exactly which decks you're going to be playing from, and then even the swatches themselves are clearly labelled with what number from which swatch deck they come from. And then you've got the trackers here, so if you want you can just place any cube on there just to keep track of your different colours over the course of the game. I've been playing this almost non-stop throughout the summer. I've been playing it a lot with customers, with friends, and it's just been an absolute joy to play. As I really do enjoy the choices that the game presents to me, and no two games as of yet have been the same. If you want to try the game out and you live locally to the shop, come on down. We do have this in the library, so you can come along and play alongside a whole range of other games, and we have it for sale as well. If you don't live locally and you'd like to try it out, get in touch with Minerva Tabletop Games, and they can guide you best to your local area. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you later.
Hey, wonderful humans. My name is Anthony from BoardGameDads, back to join Ali and gang with another Best of the Month. August was kind of a slow gameplay month for me overall. However, I did get a few games in, and I did get to teach one of my favorite games to a couple of new players, and that is Cascadia. Boy, do I love this game. This one is from Randy Flynn and art by the incredible Beth Sobel. Anything with her name on it, I am definitely paying attention to. And any nature-themed games that come out immediately grab my attention. Luckily, those two things come together very often, Beth and nature-themed games. So there's a lot of those in my collection. If you've never played Cascadia, first of all, it is the award winner for the Spiel des Jahres this past year, so you know it has to be good. But in all seriousness, it's a very simplistic game. It does not overstay its welcome. The mechanics are very easy to understand, and it has just enough strategy that it makes for a great family weight game, I think. Basically, in this game, you're going to be drafting some hexagonal tiles that have different land terrains on them, along with some circular animal tokens. So you're going to be building this sort of wildlife preserve tableau in front of you with these hexes. And when you match them up, they don't have to match terrain type, adjacent to each other, but you kind of want that to happen because there's two major ways you're going to score points in this game. One of them is how large each terrain matching type you have at game end. The other one is those wildlife tokens, the animal tokens. So each of those hexes has a couple different animals that can reside on it. And the cool thing about this game is the animals score in very different ways, and each animal has many different cards that you can use for different setups. So there's a lot of replayability here. I'm not going to run through all the animals, but just to give you a quick example, there's things like hawks and bears and elk, and they all have different ways they want to score points. Love the game, love the choices you can make, and it's beautiful out on the table. That is my best of the month for August, Cascadia. Thanks for watching. You can check out my channel, BoardGameDads, on YouTube. See you all next month. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Nathan. This is Sweetie. Our game of the month for August is Cartographer's Heroes. Again? Yes, again. Hear me out. I played Cartographer's Heroes one time in August with my friends Justin and Matthew McCack, whom you can find on Room 51. We had a great time drawing polyominoes onto a map to try and fulfill the flighty whims of the Queen, make the best map and score the most points. But something went very wrong in this game. The cards that tell you what to draw, what you're allowed to draw, those were not working in our favor. One of the goals we could not even reach. We got 0 points for the entire goal. I personally ended up with -1 point. My score was in the negatives. The hero, which is a new add-on for Cartographer's Heroes, which are heroes that take care of monsters for you, though that came into play and had no effect on anything. It really should have been a disaster. It was the best game of Cartographer's Heroes I've ever played. Possibly the best game of Cartographers I've ever played. It is easily on my top 10 gaming experiences of the year. It was amazing, and I have to guess that it was my friends that made it happen. So, big shout out of the month to Cartographers Heroes, the game of the month, for helping remind me that it's not whether you win or lose. I like to be able to compete. I like to be able to, know what I'm doing and feel skillful. But it's not about whether I win or lose. It is literally, as the phrase goes, how you play the game. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a phrase. And I want to thank Cartographer's Heroes and the creators behind it for reminding me of that. I had a blast losing and doing terrible and not being able to meet the objectives. And that is something I'm going to remember, that the friends I've made along the way really are the most important thing. So shout out to them. And shout out to Cartographer's Heroes.
And well, that about wraps us up. So thanks for watching. Make sure you check out all of the other creators. Their links will be in the description box down below. Stay tuned on the channel for future months, future reviews and all that sort of jazz. And until next time, I'm Oliver East, signing out.